Hey guys, it's Linda here from lindaloucreates.com, and I just wanted to take a second to make sure that my live is happening and that I am in the right position for it. Sometimes there's a bad habit that it turns on me, so that's why I just want to make sure that it is working. So I am not seeing it yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I wanted to share with you my May class to go. It features the Rooted in Nature stamp set. It is a double stamp set and it's gorgeous. Sorry if there's a glare. I'm really trying to better my lighting in here and it doesn't seem to be happening for me. So anyway, this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using for my stamp class to go. Here are the cards. There's 4 cards, and I'm going to show you just a couple little techniques on 2 of the cards that I did. Just sometimes writing it in the PDF, I have a hard time explaining myself. I'd rather show it. So here's one of the cards. This one I'm going to show you how to do the tree. Really simple. Another card using some vellum. I feel like I don't use that enough, so that's why I'm pulling it out for that. Here's another one. The tree. I'm gonna show you how I did the tree as well. And one last one. Love this paper. This is the Nature's Poem paper that coordinates with this suite. And it's really pretty, really pretty. So those are the 4 cards. You get those 4 cards kits plus 4 more. So that's 2 each of those 4. So a total of 8 cards you can make with a $40 order in my online store. I'll give you that information in a moment. Let me just get going here on showing you, first of all, for this tree right here. I have my paper. Let me move some of my stuff out of the way. Ink. Tokyo. From Tokyo, then he has a 12-13 hour flight to get to Atlanta. And then from there he gets himself on home to Chattanooga. Yeah, sorry, I'm babbling here on because I'm so excited for him, the opportunities that he's had. Hey, I inked up the tree in mint macaron. I kind of avoided the trunk. Doesn't matter if you hit it. It really doesn't. So now I'm going to go with a soft suede marker. I go with the brush tip. And this way now I'm going to just color in the tree trunk. And it doesn't matter if I overlap and get into some of the green. Now for me, I find it easier if I tilt this on its side a little bit, let the light hit it. And then this stamp actually has a few like branches within the leaves that you can see. And I'm just hitting it with my marker just to try and get some more realistic look here with those. Again, it's not going to matter if you miss a few or if you hit ones that aren't branches with the brown. So let me just do a couple more that I see. All right, that'll work. So you get the idea now of that. Then I just take my marker and I just kind of clean it off and we're good to go. It's back to being brown again. I also have another marker. This happens to be the Garden Green, and this is where I'm going to do what I call the thumping technique. So again, the brush end, the thicker end. Hold it about a 45-degree angle, and then just kind of pounce it on your stamp. I make sure I turn it around because I don't want these marks to be all the same direction. It's going to be very subtle, those marks. I don't even know if it's going to pick up on the camera today, but then I just go ahead and highlight a little bit around the edges here of the leaves. You can do as much or as little as you want, and you can see I'm not really doing anything fabulous, just kind of coloring with that. Again, I just wipe my marker off. Now this ink's been sitting on here a while, so I'm going to huff on it. That just kind of wettens it up again, I guess. Here's my piece of Whisper White cardstock, and let's see. I'm gonna press down and Voila. I don't know if you can see any of that garden green maybe around the edges. I can see a few little bits of it within the leaves of the tree, and then you can also see the brown in there too for the limbs of the tree. So that's the directions on the tree using the thumping technique. So that is for this card here. I ended up making it a sympathy card. So on the inside, again, I stamped some of the leaves that are within the stamp set of Rooted in Nature, and then I just added a sympathy sentiment on the inside. One little hint, because you are getting card kits, 8 card kits to make 2 of each. So when you go to stamp your second card, be sure and clean off your stamp before stamping onto the second to create the second one. You just don't want any of this to really contaminate any more of your ink pad than necessary. So I recommend cleaning it off in between then. So, okay, next one is this card. The tree especially. I don't know if I want to call it faux watercoloring, but I'm a lazy stamper. So whatever I can do to shortcut on things is what I do. So here is the oval. I went ahead and cut it out using the stitched oval. This is cut out of watercolor paper. I found that to work the best. The stamp set, again, we're going to use the marker to help us out with the tree trunk on this. I used Old Olive ink on here. So let me go ahead and just stamp up the leaves of the tree, and then get my marker, my soft suede marker, and again hit up the trunk, and then get in here because there's some of the limbs or even more of the trunk there. So all right, so there it is. There's my tree. I got a little heavy-handed here, so let me just clean that off, because I know me, I will end up getting that all over my card. Okay, again, huff on it. Sort of re-wet that ink. I'm going to go ahead and stamp. When I do, I'm going to have my aqua painter handy. It's filled with water. Here's my aqua painter, so that I can kind of get to work on this. So stamping it down, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and give this a bit of a squeeze, get my water to flow out of it, and I'm just going to come along and just hit up the leaves of the tree, kind of blend it. This is my idea of watercoloring. Like I said, I'm not a watercolorer, so anything that I can do to sort of cheat, I do. So here we go, and just kind of blur it out and just kind of make it a cool looking thing. Now, one real quick tip again here. What I did, before you clean off your aqua painter, I just came down here and added some of that ink that I got from here to create sort of a grass effect, just so it looked like it was grounded onto something. All right, I don't know if you can see that down here. Let me bring it up. So I just added a little bit of grass, so to speak, onto that. Go ahead, clean that off. My aqua painter feels just a little dry, so I'll give it another little squeeze, and then I'll just come in and just kind of blur out the trunk as well, so that it's not so stark as far as the way it was stamped. Just kind of want to work on it quickly as soon as after you stamp it. I'll be honest with you, I considered then coming through and adding some blues to make it sort of a sky, but I was so happy with the way it turned out, I didn't want to ruin it, so I didn't add any sky, so to speak, on it. Instead, I got out my soft suede ink pad. I had cut up a sponge, and I'm going to add just I'm going to just sponge the edges then of my oval. That way I don't feel like it's quite so stark white, and I'm not missing then the sky that I did, or didn't do, I should say. So as much or as little of the sponging around that you want to do, and then let's come back to the card. I then mounted it on some olive green scallop. I did some sponging around my DSP here, and yeah, add a little bit of linen thread. This sentiment is one stamp that's in the stamp set, the Rooted in Nature set. I stamped it and then cut each little rectangle out and then popped them up. So those are the two cards that really have a technique, so to speak, on them, and I wanted to be sure and share them with you. The other two cards that you would get card kits for that are in my class to go, the background here of the leaves were stamped off, so they are second generation, maybe even third generation, depending on how wet and juicy your ink pads are. So I didn't want the leaves to be the highlight of the cards. I wanted the verbiage to be that. So there we go. That is all that's happening in my class to go. Let me give you some more details here. My blog is lindaloucreates.com. To shop with me, go to my shop at lindaanderson.stampinup.net. Place a $40 order using the class code. Here's the class code then too. You will find it obviously here on the video. You'll also find that class code on my blog as well. But place the order using the class code. I will send you the card kits to create 8 cards, 2 each of these 4 designs. You will get the PDF instructions mailed to you. I will also include a sheet of dimensionals because I love things that are popped up, so there's something on every card that's popped up. And the embellishment that is used on all of the cards are these faceted dots. So you will get a pack of these for free as well with your $40 order. So please stop by, give me a shout out, give me a shop, give me an order. And what I'm going to do when I'm done with this is give my son a call back, see if he's in the airport and ready to head on home. It's always good to hear his voice, and I appreciate you guys listening to mine. All right, hey, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later again. Bye now.